It starts with a knock on the garage door. Not the front one. No, that'd be too normal. It's the side door, the one that sticks in the winter and groans like it's got secrets to keep. Isaiah wipes the grease from his fingers, straightens his back, and listens. Another knock, softer this time. Hesitant, he opens it. A woman stands there, wrapped in a long, threadbare coat that doesn't fit right. Her arms cradle a toddler with hair like honeyed silk. Two more little girls stand behind her, holding hands, their eyes too wide for children that small. "We're sorry," she says, voice trembling. "We didn't mean to. It's just, we saw the lights." Isaiah blinks. "You all right, miss?" She hesitates, nods, but her eyes betray her, eyes that scan too fast, flinch too easily, like she's expecting someone to come tearing around the corner. The triplets, all no older than 3, cling to her coat like it's the last thing keeping them tethered to the earth. Isaiah exhales slow. This town, Juniper Hollow, ain't friendly after sunset, especially not to folks with skin a few shades darker or last names that don't show up on HOA rosters. He's seen how people clutch their purses tighter when he walks through the grocery store in his oil-stained coveralls. A black man running an independent garage in a neighborhood full of blue-eyed patriots is already enough of a problem. Now a pale woman with lost eyes and 3 starving kids is standing at his door like a bad omen. "I'm Isaiah," he says gently. "You need a warm place?" She nods again. "Please." He lets them in. Inside, the garage smells of diesel and winter air. He flips the heater on, grabs the old quilt from his tool bench. One of the girls starts to cry, quietly, like she's trying not to be heard. That's what hits him hardest. Not the cold, not the mystery, but the way these girls have clearly learned to suffer silently. "Come inside the house," he offers. "I've got soup on. You all look like you could use it." She hesitates again, then whispers, "Thank you," like it hurts her to say. Isaiah doesn't sleep much that night. He watches the baby monitor he used to keep for his late wife, repurposed now to make sure the guest room stays safe. The woman gave a name, Lena, but not much else. He notices how she flinches at loud noises, how she triple-checks lock windows, how she tenses when his white neighbor's dog starts barking across the street. Something's off. Not criminal, maybe, but wrong. Heavy, hidden. And the next morning, when Officer Rickman, always too friendly, always too curious, drops by under pretense of checking in, Isaiah sees the suspicion in his eyes when Lena peeks through the window. "New companies, eh?" Rickman asks, smiling too wide. "Just helping someone out," Isaiah replies. Rickman's smile thins. "Make sure you know who you're helping." Isaiah closes the door harder than he means to. Something's coming. He feels it, but it's already inside. Isaiah notices it first in the girls. They don't play. Not really. They sit quietly on the floor of the living room, lined up like little soldiers, waiting for permission before touching anything. No giggles, no tantrums, no childlike chaos. Just wide, glassy stares. And Lena, she barely eats. Always saying she's full. Always pushing food onto her daughter's plates instead. Her eyes dart to the front door when a car passes too slow, and she flinches at the creak of the floorboards upstairs. Even when it's just the wind, he doesn't ask questions. Not yet, but he watches. Then, one afternoon, the doorbell rings. Isaiah opens the door to Carolyn Finch, HOA board president, self-appointed protector of property values, and resident pain in the ass. She's wearing a pink blazer and pearls like she's running for governor Stepford. Her eyes scan his front porch like it's contaminated, nose wrinkling just slightly at the muddy footprints left by the girls. "Isaiah," she says with an air of practiced concern, "just making my rounds, checking on residents. You know how we value transparency around here." He forces a smile. "Everything's fine, Carolyn. Appreciate you stopping by." She leans in, voice dropping like it's a secret, but loud enough for the world to hear. "I saw a woman and some children coming the other night. Strange hour. Are they family?" "Guests," he replies. "Cold night. They needed a place." Carolyn nods, lips pursed. "I see. Course. We just like to keep things orderly around here. Some folks might get the wrong idea, you understand. Wrong idea. He hears what she's not saying. Juniper Hollow has standards, she adds. People move here for peace and safety. Would be a shame if that changed. Isaiah's jaw tightens. Well, I've got peace, and they've got safety, so I guess it's working out for all of us. Carolyn chuckles, thin and sharp. I'm sure. She leaves with a smile that doesn't reach her eyes, heels tapping like a warning on the porch steps. Inside, Lena's pale. Who was that? HOA, Isaiah mutters. Neighborhood police with no badge and too much time. Lena says nothing, but she pulls her daughters closer that night, sleeps on the floor beside their bed like she's afraid they'll be taken if she turns her back. And Isaiah, he's got questions now. Real ones. The next morning, he checks the news. No Amber Alerts. No missing persons that match. But he finds something else. A fuzzy screenshot on a gossip site. A woman in sunglasses. Kids in tow. Grainy image from an airport camera. The caption, billionaire's wife vanishes with children after SEC raid. No charges filed. Family deeply concerned. The resemblance hits him like a gut punch. Could be Lena? Before he can ask, he sees it. Carolyn again. This time, standing across the street, phone in hand, pretending to water her roses. Watching, waiting. He shuts the blinds. His peaceful life is unraveling fast. And he's not sure who's more dangerous, the woman hiding in his home or the one watching it. Isaiah doesn't confront her right away. He waits, watches Lena from a distance as she folds laundry with robotic precision, as she checks the locks 5 times before bed. The triplets have warmed slightly, enough to color with his late wife's crayons, but their drawings always show the same thing. A woman running, a house burning, and it happens on Sunday. Church bells in the distance. Crisp air, quiet streets, and then sirens. Lena is in the backyard with the girls, braiding one of their curls, when the patrol cars roll in like a storm cloud. 4 of them. Too many. Tires crunch the curb. Uniforms spill out like a flood. Guns stay holstered, but hands rest just close enough to threaten. Carolyn and Finch stand behind them, flanked by 2 HOA board members. She's dressed for war. Pearls, heels, and a smug little American flag pin on her chest. The weapon of a patriot who's never fought for anything but her property lines. Isaiah steps outside before they can knock. Mr. Holloway, barks the lead officer. We have credible intel that you're harboring a fugitive. Got a warrant this time? Isaiah asks calm but firm. Carolyn steps in. We don't need a warrant when it's a civil matter. The children may be at risk, and there are safety concerns. We're within our HOA rights to intervene. You're not law enforcement, Carolyn. Isaiah snaps. Her smile tightens. I'm a mandated reporter. I've documented this from the beginning. You think anyone's going to believe you over 3 board members and half the precinct. Lena appears behind him, holding her daughter's hands. The girls tremble, eyes wide as headlights. One officer starts moving toward them. Isaiah raises his voice. Touch those kids, and you're going to be on the 6 o'clock news. He pulls out his phone. Actually, you already are. He turns the screen around, pressing play. Footage rolls. Carolyn, outside his home days ago, whispering to the officer about Lena. No warrant in sight. She fits the description. He's hiding her. Check the corner cameras. Another clip. Carolyn on a neighbor's Ring camera, coaching a board member on what to say. Just say you saw her pushing the kids. They'll take it seriously if it's about child endangerment. Murmurs ripple through the officers. Isaiah isn't done. He turns to Officer Ramirez, one of the newer hires, black, same age as Isaiah. Check the date stamps. You'll see she's been pushing this without evidence. Harassment, racial profiling, using HOA policy like a badge. Carolyn's voice cracks. This is ridiculous. He's manipulating the narrative. I'm just trying to protect the children. No. Lena cuts in, stepping forward. You're trying to erase the fact that a black man gave refuge to a white woman. That's what bothers you. The crowd quiets. Her voice, though soft, carries weight. You saw us together, and made a story that fit your fear, not the truth. Carolyn laughs, shrill and desperate. Please, do you really think anyone will care what a runaway wife of a disgraced billionaire has to say? But Isaiah is already uploading the clips. Streaming live now. Jordan's legal team stand at the end of the block, holding printed statements, affidavits from neighbors, even a signed statement from Lena's in-laws declaring she fled for safety after her husband was indicted. Officer Ramirez takes the phone. We'll be taking statements. No one's being detained today. Carolyn's jaw drops. This isn't over, she hisses. Oh, it is, Isaiah says. For you. Behind him, Lena starts to cry, but it's relief this time. The girls hug her legs, and Isaiah stands between them and the mob. The truth is out, and Carolyn's grip on this neighborhood? Shattered. Carolyn doesn't leave quietly. She slinks back to her house that day like a wounded animal. But the next morning, her fury blooms full force. She calls an emergency HOA meeting, sends out a mass email to every resident filled with buzzwords: unsafe environment, criminal harboring, infiltration of outsiders. But this time, people are watching her. Closely. Isaiah doesn't answer her email. He answers with evidence. Jordan's firm drafts a formal civil rights complaint. It outlines Carolyn's abuse of power, her false reports to police, and her illegal surveillance attempts. Several neighbors, most anonymously, contribute witness statements. Then comes a bombshell. One of Carolyn's own, HOA treasurer Mrs. Donnelly. She forwards Isaiah a series of emails from Carolyn. Subject lines like, need dirt on Holloway, push the board to revoke his lease, and the worst, if we get CPS involved, that'll shake them loose. Isaiah stares at the screen for a long time. He knew it was racial. Knew it from the moment she smiled too sweet and called him one of the good ones. But seeing it in writing, it hits different. Mrs. Donnelly also drops a voice memo, a recording from a board call where Carolyn suggests planning an anonymous tip to get Lena arrested and the girls safely placed elsewhere. It's not just bigotry. It's premeditated. Isaiah and Jordan go public. They hand everything to a local black journalist, Nia Gaines from the Stone Grove Sentinel, who's been following the HOA abuses across the county. Nia runs a story like fire through dry grass. HOA chair caught orchestrating false reports, targeting black widower and white refugee mother. The headline hits every news aggregator in town by morning. Carolyn's face is plastered next to a screenshot of the email where she says, "He's not HOA material. Not our kind." Lena's story spills too, but this time her voice controls the narrative. She speaks to Nia, tells the truth. How her husband's company collapsed in an insider trading scandal. How she feared for her girl's future. How Isaiah didn't ask questions, just offered safety. There's a media circus outside Reedsboro within 24 hours. Carolyn tries to go on the defensive, schedules a live HOA press statement on the community green. She shows up in pearls again, this time with shaky hands and too much makeup. Try to look composed. But no one comes. Not one resident. Not even her board. Only reporters. Cameras. And Nia, front row. Carolyn begins. This has all been misunderstanding, taken wildly out of context. Nia raises a phone, plays the board call aloud. Carolyn's voice gets CPS involved. That'll scare the hell out of them. Carolyn freezes. The crowd erupts with questions. Microphones in her face. Did you target Isaiah Holloway because of his race? Did you encourage false police reports? Are you resigning? She bolts. Right off the platform. Right through the shrubs. Straight into a barrage of flashbulbs. Later that day, HOA board members hold a private vote. Carolyn Finch is removed as chair by unanimous decision. Her personal emails leak online. Her husband files for legal separation. The state opens a civil investigation into the HOA's racial discrimination history. She tries to issue a statement claiming victimhood, saying she was protecting the children. No one buys it. And Isaiah? He stands on his porch that evening, phone buzzing with messages from strangers, some apologizing, some thanking him. The porch light casts a soft glow as Lena sits nearby, the girls asleep inside. He doesn't smile. Not yet. Not until the last headline rolls in. HOA chair indicted for filing false reports. Civil lawsuit pending. Now he smiles, because the storm didn't just pass. It turned. Isaiah does expect a knock on his door. Not this time. It's been 2 weeks since the news broke, and the street has gone quieter than it's ever been. Not the eerie silence of suspicion, but the cautious quiet of people thinking, really thinking. For the first time in a long while, he opens the door. It's Mr. Kensington, gray hair, button collar, always kept to himself since day one. I just wanted to say, I read everything. He mumbles. I didn't know it was that bad. I should have said something. I'm sorry, Isaiah. Isaiah nods. Doesn't let him off the hook with a joke or an easy out. Just nods. And that's enough. Because it's not about getting even. It's about finally being seen. Carolyn Finch is arrested 3 days later. False reports. Attempted coercion. Obstruction of a civil investigation. Her mugshot leaks online before noon. The pearls are gone. Her face is bare, pale. She loses her seat on the PDA board. Her eldest son, a college athlete, publicly denounces her actions in a statement. Sponsors pull out. Her family retreats. Her lawyer tries the usual script. Stress, misinterpretation, character assassination of Lena. But the voice memos, the HOA emails, the security footage of her slipping an envelope under Lena's door at midnight, they speak louder than spin. By the time the lawsuit rolls forward, Carolyn's name is radioactive. Isaiah and Lena file jointly. Jordan's firm handles the case pro bono, making a landmark civil rights suit against private neighborhood governance overreach. People start showing up on Isaiah's lawn again, but not to accuse, to help. One neighbor brings fresh paint for the fence Carolyn vandalized with her fake code violations. Another offers Isaiah a carpenter to fix the gutter Carolyn claimed was unsafe. And at the next HOA election, for the first time in Reedsboro's history, a black man wins chair, Isaiah Holloway. The triplets run barefoot to the garden, tangled in each other's laughter. Lena watches from the porch swing, a mug of tea clutched between 2 trembling hands. She's still healing, still watching over her shoulder sometimes. But there's color in her cheeks again, sleep in her eyes. Isaiah joins her, towel over his shoulder, sweat on his brow from mowing. She slides over without a word, makes room. The wind hums through the trees. "Can I ask you something?" she murmurs. He nods. "Why'd you let us stay that night? You didn't even know me." Isaiah takes a moment, looks out over the yard, the garden they replanted together, the rebuilt gate, the mural the girls painted on the shed. "My wife," he says softly, "wasn't just kind. She was wise. She used to say, when the world locks a door, sometimes it's your porch light that lets someone breathe again." Lena blinks hard, swallowing emotion. "You left the porch light on for me." He nods. "Guess it was your turn to breathe at the next HOA meeting." Isaiah opens with something radical, listening. They draft a new code of ethics. Ban anonymous tips. Mandate racial bias training. Lena volunteers for the community garden. Nia writes a follow-up article. The man who turned a porch light into a protest. The final scene, Isaiah, standing in the driveway as the sun sets low, washing the truck. A little hand slips into his, one of the triplets, solemn-eyed. "Mr. Isaiah," she says. "Yeah, Sweet Pea, you're the good kind of neighbor." He smiles, not just because she means it, but because now, finally, everyone else sees it too. Justice wasn't just served. It was lived.